Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. How are you today? Is it the 12th today? I'm lollygagging, and I'm lollygagging big time this morning. I'm going to go outside, going to finally, get the seeds all going. I still have time. This is barely the middle of April, and you always want to plant something, mid-May. Last year, I planted everything about the beginning of June, and I had such a wonderful harvest, so I'm not really concerned. I've been regrowing some carrots that I'd gotten from the farmer's market, and I don't necessarily know that it will grow carrots, but it will grow a flowering bush, which I'm okay with, and I think I'm going to put that in the front. I widened the front, my flower bed. I think my plan is to eventually just take that part of the yard out. I don't know. Why not? Since I can't have my driveway widened. Got some sunchokes that the neighbor up the block around the corner got me. They're like black-eyed Susans because I was looking for some black-eyed Susans. Hadn't come across any. But I have a corner in the back part of my yard. I want that just to take over with like wild flowers, and it will keep the dogs out. They're quiet at the moment, but I say that and Shug might start barking. So fingers crossed. Like I said, I'm lollygagging. I'm watching the weather. It would be a perfect day to be running to some flea market. I did see Wentzville has their flea market up and running way back in the day, 40 years ago when I lived in Lake St. Louis. We used to go to the flea market. I think it was on Pierce Boulevard. My dad would come out, the husband at the time, only been married one time, long time ago, and we would go to that flea market. They had the best stuff, and you could buy livestock. I believe they would have goats and chickens and ducks and so on and so forth. Still haven't done anything with my hair. It's getting a little too light. I just can't quite figure out what I'm doing with it. Not a priority today because I want to do all of these seeds. I'm excited to have my garden in this year. I'm excited to do flowers. Excited to see if I can get other vegetables to grow. I made for dinner last night some fried cabbage, bacon, and some Italian sausage. It was so good. Now, I had made stuffed peppers the night before, but I didn't want that back to back. I feel like this morning, from all the salt, I feel really bloated and swollen. I have some crazy outfit on. I am so mixed matched, but I'm going for comfort. I'm going for humor. I've got my camouflage little leggings, capri leggings. They're shorter. I've got a mix match camouflage because I know it's going to be about 82 degrees today. And right now it's a little chilly through this, old sweatshirt on that I cut up. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy going on around here. Worked the second job yesterday for the banquet industry. It was the Daughters of the Revolution. I don't know what the anniversary was, but they were celebrating a chapter anniversary. Daughters of the Revolution, from what I was understanding yesterday, is like the grown-up version of the Girl Scouts. Who knew? They all had badges, they all worked for things, and each accomplishment they could buy a pin. Unlike in the Girl Scouts, I thought you were given. I don't think you had to buy anything, but I don't remember. That's been a long time, too. I'm Kitryn Marie, reside in St. Louis, Missouri, artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach, published author, teach a bunch of art classes, enrichment classes to help you better cope with life, to give you inspiration, to entertain you, teach how to put a vision board together based in life coaching, teach group painting classes, acrylic painting, in perception, perspective, watching the paint dry, bringing out all of those talents based on image and shape and how you see things in your mind's eye. Also business coach, creative-minded women who want to start side hustles. Speaking of side hustles, if you got to be really, really good at planting and you could cultivate small plants, you'd be making a fortune right now. I know in Marketplace, there are people who sell all their potted plants to put into the ground. The one neighbor, like I keep talking about, who lives up the block, she belongs to a bunch of different Facebook groups, and she's always getting seeds and things like that. So maybe that's a side hustle you want to get into. Was listening to, went down that rabbit hole of farmers this morning and the cost of nitrogen, fertilizer, and fuel. And with Cisco, because this all will play into big factors with Cisco buying out. Cisco is the third-party food chain that supplies all the food pantries, all restaurants, all schools. They are monopolizing the way restaurants and so on and so forth buy their food. They are owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Now, if anybody has been following me a very long time, when I was dealing with my vet from my horse, and they kept saying, sign up for Care Credit, Care Credit, Care Credit. Care Credit is on the New York Stock Exchange, which is owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. They pretty much, those three stock entities pretty much have a monopoly on everything in this country, probably worldwide. And we want to know why things have gotten so expensive. Sorry, this hair is driving me crazy. Why things have gotten so expensive. Go look on the New York Stock Exchange and see how much the stock is for whatever it is that you were dealing with. If you were dealing with Cisco, they bought out Restaurant Depot for $29 billion. Someone has to absorb that $29 billion. Farmers, the cost of nitrogen and fertilizer, feed, more vaccines and more things that they are pumping into all of our animals that we eat, fuel, the cost of diesel with whatever's going on across the pond, economically, globally, we, in the long run, will all suffer from it. I have got it down where I'm grocery shopping about every 2.5 weeks. As usual, I make everything stretch, and planting a garden for my vegetables, because I very much believe that those bigger outside entities, and I know everybody is aware, there are more chemicals that are being put on our produce, and it is just better for us if, we can learn to grow our own. And the Farmer George kind of girl I want to be, it doesn't hurt. It's good dirt therapy. You were learning something. You were learning about horticulture and how your soil is working. And because I'm so interested in farming and forestry and agriculture and wildlife and cattle ranching and equine and so on and so forth, it just seems to be something that I think we all need to be paying attention to. And anybody who has a garden and you want to, supplement your soil with nitrogen, go to your local horse farm, horse ranch, take a couple 5-gallon buckets, get, the horse poop, the manure, get it in a trough, add some water to it. Yes, it's going to be messy. Yes, it's going to smell to the high heaven. Mix it all up, let it sit for a day to kind of ferment, and then put it into your garden. And you will be very surprised at how well your garden will do. Eggshells, coffee grounds, start your own composite with your, vegetable skins and your discarded vegetables, start your own composite. So that way you can throw that onto your vegetables and into your garden too, and you'll have a beautiful, beautiful garden this year. But like I said, I'm lollygagging this morning trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull out all of my egg cartons. Excuse me, I feel like I got a frog in my throat. Pull out all of my egg cartons. I have 2 big bags of topsoil. I've got my table set up for outside. I just have to figure out how I'm going to anchor it all down. I think frost is behind us. We probably will have a few more cooler days. I think this week in St. Louis they're calling for a lot of rain. So I'll have to figure out how to cover all of that. It's like I'm trying to get this all in my head and then trying to keep my dogs out of it. That will be the bigger thing, more than the weather, keeping my dogs out of it, because they'll be like, ooh, what is this? Is it something I can eat? No, it's not. Stay out of my plants. So I think I will get my egg cartons all ready, get my seeds all ready. Some of these seeds I'm just going to willy-nilly throw it into the area that I want. Should take off. Where I'm going to plant my cannas, where I'm going to plant my sunflowers. I have that strategically placed. I have a new rose bush. I think I told you that a few weeks ago. I bought at Aldi's. I'm going to put that in the ground today. I opened it up, took the metal part off, opened it up, threw some little bit of water in it so it wouldn't dry out, and it has beautiful shoots on it. I think probably by midsummer it should have a couple blooms. My other rose bush, the big pretty yellow one that I had cut back last year, it's like starting to come up. So whatever I'm doing it correctly. I just wish I was on, 7 acres of land that I could take a whole, half acre and do it all correctly. It's fun. It gives me something to do. Get a little color, little good vitamin D, have the sun kind of tone down some of this crazy hair. What else was I going to talk about today? I had said the egg cartons, fill them with dirt, put the seeds in, kind of cover it. Could do some saran wrap over it to give it that greenhouse effect. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go along. Weed-eated the whole front. Dug out the flower bed. That's good to go. Said to the kids yesterday, hey, for Mother's Day, I really, really need a new lawnmower. If you can all pitch in and get your mom a lawnmower, would be really good. I don't need designer shoes and purses and fancy jewelry. I want tools that I can work in the yard with. I'm on my 2nd pot of coffee this morning. We've been up really, really early. I think I got up at 5:30 this morning. Dogs were off the charts. Couldn't sleep last night. Just couldn't sleep. I don't know what it was. I was kind of like wound up from the day, although I worked yesterday 9:30 to 2:30, not that long of a day. Was going to meet the oldest last night and just didn't have the energy to do it. Today I am slathered in peppermint lotion and biofreeze because I'm still aching from when I worked on Thursday, and then on Friday I was working in the yard. But the yard is looking good. It is all coming along, and it just does something really good to my mind. That mental clarity. That is what I am going for. Peace, no drama, mental clarity, working on my home till I can figure out how I can move. I did see FHA has a new program in the mortgage industry if you were looking for a loan. I think if you have a credit score of 600 or more, they were offering first-time home buyer 100% down payment on a home, but there was a certain amount of criteria. Your work history, how much you make, all the nonsense that goes along with getting a mortgage. The oldest, the house that he was looking at, it fell through. He is now continuing to look. He is on a different program where he only has to put 3% down, and the rest of it, whoever he is getting the loan from, I don't know the initials of it, it's not an FHA, it's an FM something or another. It's a forgivable down payment. Ask your realtor about it. 3% down. The rest is a forgivable loan. You just have to stay in the home 5 years. And I do think possibly I might qualify for that. Although I'm still thinking about that farm rural. If you decide to move in a rural area, you can get 100% everything through, not the FDA, but some farm association. There is a criteria that I don't know anything about, but all those things always play in the back of my mind. And you are more apt to get the loan if you are going to turn that property into some sort of business. And I'll know I want to have a shop, a farm stand, sell my little produce, whatever it is, and teach my classes on an educational kind of basis. Who knows? When the right opportunity falls in front of me, I will know which one is meant for me. I love these little orbs that are going around, but I'm sure it's from my little disco ball outside. Let's do a little life coaching before I get off and decide that I need to really get in my yard before the rain comes today. What are you waiting on? What is the thing that you have in the back of your mind that you were hoping it's going to happen yesterday, today? What are you dragging your feet on, knowing what you need to do to make something happen? Are you waiting for that phone call? Are you waiting on that email? Are you waiting on that snail mail? Are you waiting for an ex to come back? And then I ask, why are you waiting for the ex to come back? And then that goes down a whole other rabbit hole that I might talk about today, but then maybe I won't. But what are you waiting on, and how are you dragging your feet, waiting on the answer, the resolve to what you were hoping for a better outcome? What does that email say? What will it prove? Will it be an offer? Will it be an opportunity? That snail mail, are you waiting on a deed? Are you waiting on an insurance policy? Are you waiting on an inheritance? What are you waiting on? Are you waiting on a paycheck? Do you have it already in your mind how you need to budget that paycheck? What is it that you are waiting on, and how is it going to affect your life and the outcome of what is in that information? If you are waiting on an ex to return, what are you hoping to gain from it? If you know you did something to help end the situation, what can you do within yourself to fix it? What can you do within yourself to better the situation that you created? And then what will come from that other side of a dialogue, a conversation you are waiting on? I think about all those things in my mind when my hands are in the dirt. I always think about, what am I going to talk about next? What content can I bring to whomever is listening? And how is it going to better your life? When I'm teaching my vision board class, we talk about the things that you have waited on and the things that have become so distant because you did not act upon the things that you needed to at the time you needed to do it. Does the heart long, or does the heart just forget? And then the longer the distance, there's other distractions. And I can say from a personal standpoint, if you have left me and you have gone on to somebody else, there's absolutely no reason to come back to me at all. If you felt the grass was greener on the other side because somebody expected less from you, then there's absolutely no reason for any more dialogue, any more contact. And the distance that has been created, you chose to create that distance instead of working on the things that needed to be worked on within the relationship. You know, it goes back to, I don't ask for a lot. I don't ask for designer purses, designer shoes, diamond rings, fancy, anything. A good road trip now and then, a great cup of coffee, a pizza that will just, melt in your mouth. Land, dirt. Go to work. Be a good human. Have your emotions regulated. Know how to have dialect, how to have dialogue, how to articulate your emotions. Regulating your emotions, and understand if your emotions are off the chart, think about the other people that it is affecting in their life and what those irregulated emotions are doing to the people that love you. So as you are sitting back today on Sunday, whatever it is that you are doing, what are you waiting on? And what is it about yourself that you can do to act upon what you are waiting for? And what is your response going to be when you get that email, that phone call, that snail mail, that opportunity, that offer? Think about how it is going to affect your life, and is it going to change your life for the better? Because gosh, I hope so. There's so much yuck in the world right now. Take advantage of it. Just take advantage of it. Take a risk. Take the opportunity. Take the offer. There's so much on the other side. So much on the other side. But I'm Kitryn Marie, an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach. Reside in St. Louis, Missouri. Artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach. Published author When He Had Her, available on Amazon. Still trying to write that second book. Haven't worked anymore on it. Fate turns on a dime. It is up to you to decide what side of the coin you want to be on. If you're interested in any of my classes, reach out, kitrynmarie@gmail.com. Fingers crossed the rain doesn't come and I get all my seeds put in today. But y'all take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.